ready to try to make sense of how this is all happening behind the scenes, right?
Yeah, and so let's talk for a second about what's actually in these papers, because I think it's interesting and it's useful. These papers are the records, the emails, the text messages, the Twitter DMs of one particular Canadian political fixer, a guy by the name of David Wallace. And some of the claims being made, especially some of the claims that got reported, are seemingly quite true. At least these documents support them, as do other interviews, as does reporting in other countries. They largely, this piece largely concerns an evangelical sect known as the Plymouth Brethren Christian Church. It is a particularly insular organization. It's not very big, maybe 50,000 members worldwide, and it rests on the theology that the rest of the world is wicked. Only members of this church are good and pure, and therefore they shouldn't associate with anybody outside the church, even other evangelical denominations, much less other religions or non-believers. And that begets, what has been alleged is cult-like behavior. They become increasingly insular. Anybody who tries to leave gets excommunicated, denounced. And what we've seen in Australia, New Zealand, and elsewhere is this practice of hiring private investigators to go after people who have left the church and those who have spoken out about it. And seemingly that's what happened here in Canada. Allegedly, that's what happened here. This Wallace fellow was hired by this semi-prominent lawyer, I think working independently, by a guy by the name of Gerald Chipeur, supposedly Pierre Poilievre's dad. And Chipeur hires him to go track down this one particular whistleblower who had left the church and kind of rung the bell about some of these shady practices. Well, over the course of doing that contract, Wallace has a falling out with Chipeur and with the church and some others, and he actually goes to the guy he was supposed to be surveilling and said, hey, listen, the church has it out to get you. They want me to track you down. They want me to take your cell phone. They might even want me to kidnap you. I think you should be aware, and maybe you want to skip town. So this is all well supported by these documents, and this is all some pretty crazy stuff. I mean, this is kind of Scientology-like behavior. This is the sort of thing we should be aware of and alert to and worried about. This is sort of behavior we should not be tolerating from a religious sect in this country, and it's worth a fair bit of scrutiny. But here's where things